In the same meeting, 3 people say almost the same idea. One gets ignored, one gets polite acknowledgement, one gets celebrated as a genius. Here's what determines which is which, and it has nothing to do with how good your idea is. Hi, I'm Ryan from Workday Wisdom. This is where everyday work problems are explained with old philosophical ideas and new research. And every episode ends with concrete experiments for tomorrow's workday. In this episode, you'll walk away with 3 concrete moves that will help you get your ideas heard in meetings, regardless of your gender, personality, or position. Let me show you what I mean with 2 real scenarios from the same meeting. Sarah is a woman and an introvert working on an engineering team. She's prepared and has thought deeply about the problem. She raises her hand and says, "I think we should consider the user experience impact before we build this feature. I've been looking at the data But she gets interrupted by a colleague asking a logistical question. She tries to continue, but the energy has shifted. Her point is never fully heard. She sits back, frustrated. 10 minutes later, James, a man and an extrovert on the same team, makes a similar point. "Look, we need to think about UX here. I've been thinking about this." He gets the same interruption, but the response is different. "Yeah, James is right." He continues without being derailed. By the end of the meeting, his point becomes the direction. Here's the problem. Sarah and James said essentially the same thing, but Sarah's idea was dismissed, and James's idea was celebrated. The difference wasn't the quality of the idea, the difference was who said it. To understand why, let's look at power. French philosopher Michel Foucault showed us that power in organizations isn't just about formal authority. It's about social credibility, about who has the right to speak. Here's the thing, not everyone is assumed to be credible. Women in male-dominated fields are often seen as having less inherent credibility. Introverts are assumed to be less confident, less capable. Meanwhile, men, especially confident, extroverted men, are often assumed to be credible until proven otherwise. This is backwards, but it's how the system works. Bourdieu, another sociologist, called this cultural capital. In most workplaces, extroversion is valued as a sign of intelligence and leadership. Loud, confident, quick speech gets rewarded. Quiet, thoughtful speech gets ignored. But that's a bias, not a truth. The real problem is the halo effect. When someone is perceived as high status, their ideas are automatically assumed to be good. When someone is perceived as low status, their ideas are scrutinized more carefully. Same idea. Different judgment based on who said it. It's not that Sarah's idea was bad, it's that the system rewards status, not substance. Now here's where the research gets interesting. This isn't just a feeling, it's measurable. First, interruption patterns. Research by Karpowitz and Mendelberg shows that women speak less in mixed gender groups, especially when they're interrupted early. Here's the critical part. When women are interrupted early, they're significantly less likely to continue speaking. Men get interrupted too, but they re-engage. Sarah's silencing wasn't accidental, it was a pattern. Second, there's the likability penalty. Research by Rudman and Glick shows that assertive women are penalized for assertiveness, while assertive men are rewarded. Same behavior, confident speech, gets praised in men and criticized as too aggressive in women. So Sarah has learned to speak more carefully, but careful speech gets interpreted as uncertain. She's in a no-win situation. Third, introversion bias. Studies show that extroverts are automatically assumed to be more intelligent and competent than introverts, even with identical evidence. Quick, confident speech is perceived as intelligence. Quiet, thoughtful speech is perceived as uncertainty. This is a bias, but it shapes everything. Finally, there's the Matthew effect. Once someone speaks and gets positive feedback, they speak more. Once someone is ignored, they speak less. This creates a snowball. By the end of the meeting, Sarah is invisible, and James is the thought leader. Not because his ideas were better, but because the system kept amplifying his voice and muting hers. So here's what you can do. These are 3 moves designed for introverts and women, people who are typically silenced in meetings. They shift the power back to you. Experiment 1. Prepare and preempt. Send your idea in writing before the meeting. Email it to relevant people 24 hours ahead. In the meeting, reference it. As I mentioned in the email, I think we should. Why does this work? Your idea now exists in writing with your name on it. You're not relying on being heard in the moment. You're anchoring your credibility to preparation, not personality. And it's a lot harder for someone to steal an idea that's already documented with your name. Experiment 2. Speak as the expert, not the opinion holder. Don't say, I think we should probably. Say, I analyzed the data and here's what I found. Then state the facts. Women get penalized for assertiveness, but not for expertise. When you lead with evidence instead of opinion, you neutralize the bias. You're not being aggressive, you're being expert. This plays to your strength. You've already done the work. Now just state it. Experiment 3. Claim your space verbally. Don't ask, can I say something? Say, here's what I think. And when you're interrupted, don't retreat. Calmly say, I'm not done yet. Let me finish. Then finish your thought completely before passing the floor. You're signaling, I own what I just said. I have the right to speak. This is especially powerful for women in male-dominated fields. It signals you belong in that room. Here's the thing. The status game in meetings isn't about fairness. It's about power. But once you see it, you can change it. You can prepare your ideas so they're credited to you. You can speak as the expert, and you can claim your space without apology. The next time you're in a meeting and you have a good idea, remember, you have the power to get it heard. If this episode helped you see the status game behind who gets heard in meetings, hit like so it reaches more people who still blame themselves instead of the system. And if you thought of that colleague whose ideas only land when someone higher status repeats them, share this with them. It might finally give them words for what they've been feeling. You are watching Workday Wisdom, practical wisdom for modern work, explained by science. In the next episode, we'll look at imposter syndrome at work, what philosophy calls it, what psychology says helps. This is Ryan from Workday Wisdom signing off for now. I'll see you in the next episode. Have a wonderful week ahead.